Sir?
Please.
IAS.
Not exactly perfect.
Thank you.
Could you give a brief introduction to the benefit of the panel, please?
Hello, sir. I am Pankaj Soni, and I am a chartered accountant by profession. And I belong to Jetaran, a town in Pali district of Rajasthan. My initial education is I completed from there. After which I pursued my chartered accountancy and become honors from Jodhpur. And currently I am working in Indian Oil Corporation from last 4 years. And currently I am working in the profile of assistant finance manager. In last 4 years, I have worked in areas of taxation, in areas related to main accounts, production accounts, and currently I am in finance concurrence.
Now, that kind of a background and having a professional degree of chartered accountancy, which comes very rarely to people, I'm told that's one of the toughest kind of subjects to gain mastery of. Why are you interested in jumping horses in midstream and going in for civil services?
So, chartered accountancy and my service experience provided me the professional expertise in the field of finance, accounts, and taxation. But I think the civil services provide me the diverse portfolio in different areas, especially in the public governance, policy formulation, policy implementation, and the be a citizen and the person who are aware about the global and the domestic politics. So I think it provides me a overall development in my own personality.
Tell me something about Rajasthan as a tourist destination.
So Rajasthan, as we call it, is the land of kings, having a various historical as well as cultural importance. For example, we have a vast desert in which there is a wonderful architectural heritage. For example, Sonar Killa of Jaisalmer, we have Mehrangarh in Jodhpur. Apart from this, we have a natural beauty in Aravali, in Udaipur, Mount Abu. Apart from this, there is also religious sites, especially in Jainism. So we have Deilwada Jain Mandir in Mount Abu. We have Ranakpur Jain Mandir. And for Hindu religion, there is a Nathdwara, a site which attracts all over the India and from the world.
Have you heard of these two terms, judicial activism and judicial overreach? And how do you distinguish among the two of them? You can give me an example of each and that will make it clear that you understand the concepts.
Judicial activism is the active measures taken by the judiciary to bring justice and to fulfill the wills of the public. For example, Supreme Court allows the PIL in our judicial system, which we can say is one of the kind of judicial activism. On the other hand, judicial overreach, it says that the judiciary taking input to in areas of executive or legislature. For example, Supreme Court's ban on firecrackers is a kind of a judicial overreach which people criticize because when the executive has power to implement these policies, when judiciary should avoid themselves.
Right, and my final question is,
Yes, sir.
there is a concept which has been floated of simultaneous elections.
Yes.
Do you think this is a feasible idea? What are the pros and cons?
So simultaneous election is famous because it's one nation, one election kind of thing, in which all the two layers of the federal election taken at the same point of time, first in union as well as in state legislature. After independence, we have one nation, one election kind of system until 1960s. But after which we have not having simultaneous election, but having election at different time. If we look toward the advantages of simultaneous election, first it reduces the burden of military in the armed forces in the conducting the elections, as well as the policy measures taken by the government can be implemented in much effective way. For example, if every 6 months we have an election, then there is a stop on the policies of the government. On the other hand, we can say that it is practically not possible in a system where is federal system attract. We have a federal system in which we have a state government which has its own election, its own system, and when the government fall, we have to be a fresh election. So, in my view, practically and certain legal measures is also be taken so that the simultaneous election can happen in our country.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Pankaj,
Yes, sir.
this is your third attempt.
Yes, sir.
Have you come to this stage during any of these last two attempts? Have you?
This
No.
first my interview.
The first time you have passed through the mains exam.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Uh, you have opted Indian Foreign Service as your third choice.
Yes, sir.
What do you know about NAM? And tell me if it is relevant in today's world.
So now, as a policy of India's foreign policy is become a non-aligned movement. Is a policy or our stand in which we say that we cannot join any blocks. In Cold War era, we have two blocks, one led by US and second led by USSR. So at that point of time, we have choose our own stand that we are not aligning with any of the pole. It's give us strategic balance, the power of strategic balancing in which we can balance our relationship with the other parties at our own terms and condition. In current context also we are following the mechanism of the NAM with our strategic national interest. For example, in the Russia-Ukraine war, we have our own stand. We are not following the Western sanction. At the same time, we also having alignment with the USA in our Quad. So non-aligned movement in some other kind we have following in today also.
But is DAM as an organization still relevant or should we dispense with it?
So in my view, it is still relevant because India is a leader of global South, and most of the countries of NAM is belonging from global South. So as an institution which have more than 100 countries are member of NAM, so I think it is a beautiful platform or a important platform to raise the concern of global South.
What is the concept of digital currency? And do you think the time of digital currency is gone?
So digital currency comes in news after the success of Bitcoin. It is a currency based on the scientific innovation of blockchain. It is a currency which has linked the end-to-end portions of our economy. For example, our RBI also released its central bank digital currency. China has its own central bank digital currency, and the various private parties. Microsoft has Ethereum. So we can say that it is not over. The era of digital currency is gone. I think in future when our system is much more formalized and the various nation back their own digital currency, it may work.
So in that case, each country will have its own digital currency, just as we have each country right now having physical currency. Each country will have its own digital currency. How does it make a difference?
So the main objective of having a state-backed digital currency is to reduce the volatility in the currency. For example, if there is no state backing, then we have a virtual currency which having no statutory backing, and the normal person will in like a negative position. Okay.
You are interested in music, listening music. What kind of music do you listen to?
So I generally listen to Bollywood music and sometimes certain classical also.
Okay. What is the difference between classical music or semi-classical music and ghazals?
So classical music, as per my knowledge, I think is a music based on the fundamentals of our own tradition. For example, if Hindustani music and we have a Carnatic music based on their own principles. While the ghazals have a much more liberal way of their own style, which romanticize its lyrical. So I think both are. We cannot say that both are differently, but classical music is much more governed by its rules, and the ghazal is is flexible and
I
liberal.
think you should read on this.
Okay, sir.
Because the basic difference is that the ghazals are dependent more on the words rather than melody, while music is more concerned about the melody rather than on words. Okay,
Sir.
Siddharth.
Thank you, sir.
You have been a topper of your CA examination and scheme.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, what is the concept of capital gains tax? And a lot of people say it should not be there. What is your opinion about that? The property हमारी on people tax दे रहे हैं.
So first of all, tax is a sovereign right of a nation. So capital gain is a tax in which we pay tax on our capital appreciation. For example, if we buy a land of rupees 1 lakh and we sell it after some time on 50 lakh, then 49 lakhs we have a gain. And the government bring direct tax on it so that the gain is to be used by progressively in the society by the way of the taxation.
So you think it should be there? Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
So in my view, it's a good thing because it brings equality in the society. Because the person who have the properties and the person who have a huge volume of investments, so the benefit can be go to the society as a whole instead of to some fews.
You also written that you are interested in period drama. What is the latest period drama that you have seen?
So I seen a documentary on Netflix called Ottoman Empire, which is based on the war led by the Mahmud of Turkey towards the on the Constantinople wall and the capturing of the Istanbul.
That is the latest one you have seen.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Well, Pankaj,
Yes, sir.
you are working in Indian Oil Corporation.
Yes, sir.
There is a move to mix petrol with ethanol. What is the immediate target given by the government?
Sir, 2020, the government has forwarded its target for 20% blending by 2025, and currently we are at the stage of 10%.
But you see, recently there was a news that government had banned diverting cane sugar syrup
Yes, sir.
to ethanol production from sugar production. So how will this target be achieved if there is a ban? We cannot the factories cannot use sugar cane for ethanol production.
So there is always a debate between on the food crop used in the fuel and the
Your mind.
So, in my view, government banned the sugarcane because there is a government prediction that the El Nino circumstances may lead to reduce in our sugarcane production, and our majority of ethanol is made from the sugarcane. But government has also restored the same and they allowed for it for ethanol blending. So,
But
currently,
restored to what extent?
so restored there is certain limit. Actually, I am not able to recall the exact what is the limit.
What is the C grade molasses?
So C-grade molasses is a byproduct of the sugarcane industry, which is not a part of our main sugar, but it's a byproduct which is regarded as a waste, and it has around 30 to 40% of the sugar syrups, and it is used in our ethanol production.
Okay. How is Russian oil helping these oil marketing companies? Russian crude.
So when the Russia-Ukraine war took place, there is a drastic rise in the oil prices, and at some point there is a $120 to $130 per barrel is the price. At that point of time, our Indian government and the oil marketing companies take a stand, and they imported the Russian crude. For that time, they have a heavy discount on the same. So by purchasing Russian crude at lower price, we are able to produce our output of MS and HSD in a price which is effective for our market and which will not lead to further inflation in our economy. So in that manner,
This is good for Indian economy, going for Russian crude.
So in my view, it is a good move by the government because it is because of that our oil.
In economic terms, what about political terms and international diplomacy?
So at international diplomacy, government has its stand that our national interests are the superior, and when there is a chance where we can benefit our economy.
Okay, so our national interests are supreme.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. You are from Rajasthan?
Yes, sir.
So what the people in good old days, they must already be, they still be doing it in the hinterlands of Rajasthan. What do they do to manage water management practices? So there is scarcity of water. So can you let us know that some good water management practices?
So in Western Assam, I belong to Western Rajasthan, where there is a scarcity of rainfall, where we have a concept of Bawris in our ancient time, and it's also prevalent in today's time. Bawri and nadis and certain step wells. We cannot, as a pokhar is also a
Fine poker, body, this, that, good. But how do you maintain purity of water? Oh, good enough for human consumption.
So with purity water, we have our own method. For example, in my own home, we store our traditional rainwater in our tanks, and we use fitakari to filter them for
Okay.
our domestic consumption.
Okay, Pankaj, last question.
Yes, sir.
Your subject was commerce and accountancy, and by profession, you are a chartered accountant.
Yes, sir.
Fine. We have FDI,
Yes, sir.
and we have these FIIs that come, invest in equity, book profit, and go away.
Yes, sir.
Okay, FDI, okay, fine. The money comes, gets invested here, get locked here. But is this FI thing good? They come, invest in our equity, buy our equity, not invest, buy our equity, book profit, and move away. So, is it good for economy? They're taking our wealth away.
So, as a liberal democracy, India allowed the foreign investment because, as a part of globalization, being foreign investments in our country increase our domestic
The foreign
capacity.
investment, FDI, okay, I
Yes,
have said it. I am talking about the other thing. FIIs coming and investing in equity market, booking profit and moving away.
So, currently
So
we
how
have.
does it help our economy?
So it directly does not help because they are investing just as listed equities which are in the market. But at some point of time, they are also investing in government equities. This was the government debts, and by investing in government
I am
debts.
not talking of that. I understand that.
Okay, sir.
That is not my question. Equity.
So it is we can say that it is not a good thing for our economy to outflow our money because they have earning profits on there.
But still it is being allowed, so there must be some reason.
So maybe
Other people welcome. They eagerly wait for FIIs to return.
so it's also increase our foreign exchange. For example, our
Okay, one thing, foreign exchange.
foreign exchange.
और बताओ.
And the second thing we can say it's also contributing taxes. For example, the FII also have a tax.
Pay taxes here, but
Yes,
they
sir.
also use the tax havens.
They use tax havens, but India's sovereign right, when the income is generated from India, then they have to pay tax there. So, if there is a treaty specific, the DTA treaty, then it will help them to reduce certain tax liability.
Fine, okay, two things. Foreign reserves,
Yes, sir. Yes,
it
sir.
strengthens Indian rupee.
Yes,
ये मैं
sir.
अपनी तरफ से आपको बता रहा हूँ.
Okay.
और taxes.
Yes, sir.
और कुछ?
So, I think.
India receives a fraction of FII's investment and equity what China receives. तो कुछ बात तो है ना जो आप नहीं बता पा रहे हैं.
So, maybe I'm not able to aware.
Okay.
I may read
Please.
about this. Thank you.
Pankaj, you worked in Indian oil.
Yes.
What's the difference between sweet crude and sour crude oil?
So sweet crude and sour crude are different based on their sulfur quantity. For example, the Ural crude we receive from the Russia is one of kind of a sweet crude, and we previously received Venezuela crude, which is a much of like high sulfur contents. We call it as sour crude. So based on the sulfur content in this crude, may classify them into sweet and sour.
Do you think regulations, self-regulations will work in OTT since we have mentioned you have watched Ottoman and you might have watched that on a OTT.
Yes, sir.
Do you think self-regulations can work on OTT platforms?
So in my view, self-regulation on media already worked in India. For example, our media outlets are also governed by the self-regulation. And the same may I think also help for OTT to have their own freedom as well as their innovation in the field of the media. So I think self-regulation may have helped them and work it.
Okay, you also have mentioned about music. What's the difference between tal and rag?
Tar and rag. I'm not aware.
Okay. Are you aware about the rap music?
Yes.
Can you tell me about the origination of rap music?
So rap music is mainly the fast pace of music. We call it rap music. It originates from the southern United States or the Caribbean land.
Are you sure about it?
So I'm not definitely sure about it.
Okay.
So, Pankaj, we've come to the end of our English practice. Now, before we give you brief feedback, let's have a self-assessment from your side. How do you think your performance was today? Is this your first mock interview?
No, sir, it's my third mock interview.
Okay. So, what do you think of your performance?
I think majority of question I replied in a good sense, but in some question I am not able to answer.
So, when is your interview?
19th of January.
9th. And you have a reasonable amount of time. So, Pankaj, the first thing to recognize is that this is not a test of knowledge.
Yes.
It's a test of your personality and more importantly, it's a test of to see whether you have officer-like qualities. What are those qualities? One is integrity, and that of course is not negotiable. Then how articulate you are, how aware you are, whether you give balanced opinions, your self-confidence, your poise. If some questions are thrown at you for which you don't have any answer, then you get rattled or not. All these things are in the mix. Also, conceptual clarity. All those things are looked at. My first question to you is that why are you so nervous? Throughout the interview, you are being like this. You have no reason to be nervous. You have a fabulous academic background. And you come from a very good space. You're already working in a very prestigious company.
Yes, sir.
So you can only, the trajectory can only go up, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So all the more reason for you to just relax. Take it easy because the more you relax, the better will your self-confidence be and the better will your answers be. So I would suggest that, there are three areas from where the main areas from where the questions will come. That, current affairs, and your subject.
Yes.
So just brush up in this time which is available. Just brush up on the various aspects of these things and then go there with an absolutely uncluttered mind. And with that sense that I can nail this interview, that kind of self-confidence, I'm going to nail this interview. And believe me, you will nail it. Best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
You have any questions from us? You want to ask any question?
So what's my performance?
That
Anything which
is,
is coming to your mind where you may not be having clarity and you may want to
no. Your performance was fine. You are a strong candidate, but you need to improve. That much you can get from us. I don't know what your experience was with the other mock interviews, but I think you have picked up a few tips from them of smiling a little bit more. So, good thing. And you are a positive candidate, positive outlook. Wish you all the best. Okay? All right.
Thank you, sir. All the best.
Best of luck.
Thank you.